what are some words of inspiration you want to give out to the loan officer community out there?
Maybe let's reduce it to a word,
Okay, I love it.
and I would call it hope. I would say that because of what I've learned from you, learn it, take the time to understand it, and then implement it and keep doing it. And business just gets better because the relationships get better. And how do you not have hope in that world? It's just different. So I'm full of gratitude for you, Wally. Really.
You're very welcome. And I would say my one word back has to be purpose. What I enjoy so much about our relationship and the Academy is you guys give me purpose. You making a difference in your world gives me purpose. Hey guys, Wally, Elibiary. All right, so what is 24/7 mindset? Most times when you hear 24/7, you're thinking what? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just grinding, hustling. You know, I learned over time a 24-year career in mortgage and multiple other businesses that I own is unfortunately, you'll get burnt out. I became an absent father, I became an absent husband, and I became a poor business leader because I was trying to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to build a business, maintain a business. When I learned how to work smarter, not just harder, by doing things the best way it could be done, instead of just simply doing my best, I learned how to work only 24 hours a week, 7 months a year, while I got paid from the business residually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can do the same. Welcome to the show. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining the show. Absolutely really excited today. You know, what I really enjoyed so much about our guest today, Frank Prater. Frank, you know, we've known each other from industry for quite a while, but then I wrote my book end of last year. It got published, and then the Academy was about to start. And I get this letter from Frank in the mail. I still have it. And I literally sat there and I read it to my wife and my 2 kids because I was so prideful and just so inspired by your letter. So thank you so much for touching my heart and my family's heart, Frank.
Well, thank you for what you've done for me, Wally. Really. Maybe I can give you a little bit of background and share with you what my career has been like so far. And I've been an originator since '87 for a long time. And in most of those years, my production has been, 2 or 3 units a month. And it's something I look at and say, I wouldn't call that successful, but the crazy thing about the business we're in, you can have a pretty decent living off 2 or 3 closings a month. You really can. And I'm a database marketer. I prefer to be in the relationship more than the transaction. And there has been this challenge that I've had of how we treat our clients after the transaction. And so every Wednesday, I'm in my database. I will call them and have basically a forward conversation with them, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, thinking I'm adding value. Occasionally, I'll get a referral. But when I saw your system that was introduced to us in December, it had some meaning to me. And I have loved the MAC. It is the way that I have been adding value to my clients and those who serve them. Their wealth advisors, their financial advisors, their insurance agents, their family will attorneys, and I find a lot of fulfillment in it. And the cool thing about what's happening for me too, Wally, is that my referrals are up. The quality of referral that generates from this system is really high, which means it converts at a really high level, which means it refers at a higher level. And so I'm nothing but kudos to you, Wally. I've just really had a new life discovery. I'm back at the phase where I wake up at 4:30 in the morning and can't wait to see what unfolds in the day. And I think you sense from me that I go fairly deep in understanding before I want to implement, but that doesn't mean I don't implement too. I implement and good bloody nose or black eye where I need to improve. But you're making it very granular is so rich. And so basically that's what I've experienced so far, and it's just been wonderful. It's awesome.
I appreciate that. I mean, one thing I try to focus on, Frank, is so many coaches, unfortunately, in the mortgage industry or outside the mortgage industry, tell you a lot of like the why they do it. And they give you like these theories and these ideas. And what I'm really prideful of, I don't talk about it. I actually do it on a daily basis, which allows me to teach the what, the when, the how, the who, and every step of the process. So what was really great is, you really picked up that it was a step process for your post closing relationships with your past clients. And then it generates so many referrals back to you, and then also allows you to refer out so many clients also, which is the client concierge system.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, in the training that we do, the call, it's about an hour and a half every other week now. My biggest benefit is going back and listening to the call because you're live, you're in the moment, and the way you treat the questions that we throw at you is just, I can tell you've done the work. You, you've, you've, you've scripted yourself really, really well. That's the inspiring thing to me, Wally, is I can see the work that you've done behind the scenes before you get on stage. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I guess here's a question I want you to answer because I see you as an inspiration and I want the viewers to be inspired by your story.
Mhm.
So, factually, you're at the later part of your career. Most people are slowing down at this stage of their career. And what's super inspiring about you is you're speeding up. You're ramping it to the next gear. You're going to that next level. Like, where does that inspiration come from at the later part of your career? Where does that like motivation come from?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. So there's a little bit of pain here. I'm going to tell you what it is. Initially, I look at my profession and I say, you know what, you really haven't done anything you would call successful. There it is.
Okay.
I say it. But the reason I haven't really moved off that place is because I haven't seen a model to grow with value and integrity in an advising way. We're not selling. Wally, the MEC is not a sale. It's a really rich, deeply personal experience where most of our clients finish that and they say, I had no idea I could do that, Frank. I could do that. I could do that. That's meaningful. And they become meaningful people in that.
Well, and also I think what's neat about it is not only are you reaching out now to your past clients, staying in relationship with them and adding value to them, but you took it a step further and now you're referring your past clients that you did a mortgage efficiency checkup for, and then you're referring them to a CPA, a financial advisor, so on and so on, a family will attorney that adds value to their life and helps them build generational wealth. How has that journey been, being a loan officer that gives out referrals, not only focuses of receiving referrals?
Yeah, that's the joy of it. That's me. Because, I mean, the traditional loan officer will make a sales call, ask for a deal. There's a lot of commission breath in that. And I hate to admit this, I've conducted a lot of my life that way. This is not that. This is, here, I have a referral for you. And it's a meaningful referral of somebody who needs your help. And you're adding value to that. And this is the model, Wally, that's let me see how a business can actually be scaled. It can be leveraged. It can be taught. And it allows me to step aside from a lot of the activities and surround myself with other people on my team that want to grow. That's the juice I get from this. So no, you put fuel in my tank, and I think the real deal, Wally, is you've given me hope. There it is. And I love coming to work now. I work hard. I go home tired at the end of the day, but I'm not fatigued. Used to be I'd work hard and I would be fatigued wondering, how did I get into that? And I don't do that anymore. No, it's sweet. It's wonderful.
That's awesome. Well, good. All right. Well, tell us what does the next like 1 to 3 years look like for Frank?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So I have a team of two that are on my team that help me. I want to grow that out, and I want to see increased referral flow coming in. I want to see more meaningful relationships around me that can refer and that I can earn their trust. The MEC is the way we do that. And I don't know how detailed you want me to get, but let's just leave it at that. I can see growth.
Yeah, I'd say, when I look at business plans and I follow a one-page business plan, and you're in my academy, so we'll probably launch the how to plan out 2025 business plan here in the next, I don't know, 3-4 weeks or so. I want to
Okay.
make sure I get everything to you guys early, so it'll be like middle to end of October. So, but it's what is my one thing for the year? What is my laser focus one thing accomplishment for the year I want to reach? What are my three priorities that if I focus on those three priorities, I automatically able to accomplish my 1 year goal, my goal for the 1 year? Then on those three priorities, what are the five strategies for each one of these priorities? So now I understand on a daily basis, I've got to be focusing on these five strategies, and if I execute these five strategies, I automatically hit my three priorities. If I automatically hit my three priorities, I automatically hit my 1 year goal. And I think if I keep it that simple, and I know laser focus on a daily and weekly basis what I've got to accomplish, the months worth of successes become easier, the quarterly successes become easier, which makes the yearly success easy.
Yeah, it's crazy how we're built because we generally achieve what we focus on. The real question is, what is our focus? That's where we get lost. So I'm all ears for this training, Wally.
I appreciate it. But Eric, I guess where coach me back, where would you like me to help on your focus for 2025?
I would like some more training on um, database adoption
Okay.
in that arena. I'm
Yeah.
just venturing into it with two insurance agents next week and a financial advisor the week after that. And it's a relatively new conversation, but they're both really amped. I did an MEC with them this week, and they were full of, wow, this is what you do? A client can actually do that, and you can help them. And yeah, so how would this help your business? And that's what we're going to talk about next week. So I'm,
I'd
yeah,
say the biggest thing is, I mean, my biggest focus in any of these relationships is mortgage lending with a servant's heart, emphasis on the servant's heart. And if when you're there and you're focused on serving, you're focused about making a difference. So I look at a financial advisor's business and help them self-discover where their gaps are in their business. And all I'm there to do is fill those gaps to add the service to be able to accomplish that. And a lot of times they've done a really good job of step one, two, and three, which is getting in a relationship with a client, selling them a service, if it's life insurance, if it's an IRA or whatever. But outside of that, they don't know how to continuously add value throughout the year.
yep,
What we've been able to break down in the academy is how, as a loan officer, we add value on a yearly basis, year over year over year with our clients, and how do we add value in the mortgage efficiencies checkup script in that call. All my advice to you is just reduplicate that with the financial advisor. I have you asked them, by the way, what do they do on their yearly annual financial review with the client?
one of my first questions, and it's surprising. Many of them don't have an annual review. Yeah.
Really? Your financial advisors do not have an annual review with their clients?
No, these are insurance agents. I
Oh,
have
insurance.
two
Okay.
agents that I
So,
see this week.
it's interesting stats. I don't know if you've ever looked at the math behind it, but a really, really successful insurance agency has about an 82% renewal rate. Extremely phenomenal one is like a 88, 89% renewal rate. But the stats show that you can get a 70% renewal rate if you never contact your clients, they still will keep paying it. So when you look at insurance agents, them getting 70% of the pie without having to lift a finger, it's very difficult for them to be inspired to lift a finger. But the difference between someone getting that 70% and someone getting that 82 or 88%, it's a difference between their insurance agency being worth $1 million to $1.5 million to compared being worth $3 to $4 million. So when I talk to insurance agents and we're going through, what their renewal rate is, and has it been going up or has it been going down, and what are they doing to raise it to the next level? Because every 1% that it goes down, how much of that of your business's net worth is going by the wayside? Is it $100,000 every 1%? Is it $500,000 every 1% in business evaluation? How much is it? So when you break it down like that for them, if you go from 82% to 81% and you just lost $175,000 in value, do you think it was worth to be a way to figure out how to add value back to your clients? Or is $175,000 in valuation not worth it to you?
Yeah, it's a wonderful line of questioning too, because you know what it does? It brings out some introspective pain. So you can learn a lot from pain.
And it's factual. It's like it's factual math.
Yeah.
And it's their net worth. You're not talking about what's in it for Frank. You're talking about what's in it for them. And then from there, I just take it, well, let's brainstorm together. How can I help you add value to your clients on a yearly basis? Because it's not sending you new referrals. If I send you 10 new referrals, but 3 of them go with a different agent a year later, then you're losing them. So how can I, Frank the loan officer, help you, Bob the insurance agent, add value to your clients throughout the year so they see you as being valuable?
Yeah, nobody's having a conversation with them like that from our world.
Correct.
Nobody.
That's why it makes it so much easier for the Academy, the 69 Highway Academy members to really, really win at a high level.
Yeah, one of the things you taught us, I think you used the term of fishing in blue water. Is that how you framed it up instead of red water?
Yeah, it comes from a book. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy. It says that if you go out there try to be better than some other lender, it's a red ocean strategy, meaning there's always going to be somebody better than you. Now, if you go out there and you try to be different than everybody else, then that's a blue ocean, and there is no competition when you're different. So the way I framed the client concierge system, the way I framed the post-closing system, the way I framed the mortgage efficiency checkup that helps me succeed very easily is I framed me as being different, not better from other lenders.
That's the fascinating thing about this, because this is really blue water.
Yeah.
When we approach it this way, it's blue water.
There's very little or no competition out there in the marketplace whatsoever from this.
Yeah, and this is the other thing I've been thinking of too, Wally. We go to training in the year, and we're taught we need to have an annual mortgage review model to offer to our clients. So then we go back to the office, and we try to build that out. But I came back to the office, and in my attempt to build it out, the phone rings, or I got a file that has issues, or I feel like that dog who sees the squirrel, and I don't ever get back and finish it up. But you went back and somehow you found a way to shut it all down, and you built this out, Wally, and you did something very few of us have done. And so this is just me full of gratitude to you for doing that.
Yeah, I just say, I mean, you've heard me say this before, Frank, and maybe the listeners need to hear it again, but I'm ADD, I'm dyslexic, and I have dysgraphia. So I read numbers backwards, and I read words backwards, not well, if that makes any sense. So everything's jumbled for me. For me to ever understand anything, for me to ever digest anything, I've got to draw it in a picture in my mind. So even our conversation right now and you sharing your goals and what you want to accomplish, I am literally in my mind in front of a whiteboard, drawing it all out, mapping it all out. So when you take a model and you map it all out, it's really easy to know all the steps of the process.
Mhm.
And all you've got to do once you know all the steps of the process is just document it. And all I'm documenting is the picture that I've drawn up of the story that, whatever you've said.
Interesting.
So when I look at the client concierge system, there's a lot of moving parts. I mean, there's absolutely a lot of moving parts, and I understand that. But it's simplified in a way that it helps a loan officer focus on one thing at a time, which is the mortgage efficiency script call, mortgage efficiency checkup call, and understanding how to add value to a current client's mortgage, get them to want a referral to a financial advisor or receive a referral from their financial advisor. Same thing for the CPA, family will attorney, and insurance agent. But the reason why it's so easier for me to explain it is simply because of the disabilities, we'll call them, that I've had, which it's been a blessing.
Yeah, you play to your strength. Draw the picture, and you can understand it. I think we're all that way in some
Yeah.
respects. Good on you, Wally.
Good. All right. So I think the viewers from the Academy are definitely going to be very inspired to watch you have so much more in the tank. Where from this and where do you feel like what attracted you the most to either the 24/7 mindset or the book or the Academy or any of that? Well, like where did all this start with you?
What attracted me to it?
Yeah. Like what was the first time you heard about it?
You did something on Facebook. I want to say December, if that sounds right. Listened to it the first time, and what appealed to me is the fact that we're contacting our clients. It was a concierge program that you offered, contacting our clients post closing in a real systematic way that sought opportunities to keep helping them after we've been paid, after the loan is funded, after the transaction's done. And I realized that in and of itself is not being done in the marketplace. That's real value. That was the first thing that attracted me to it. And then you introduced us to the 6 lane highway, the MEC, but the concierge format is how we add value. It's just really basic and fundamental, but it's something interesting because it's almost like we've always known that, never done it.
Well, we've never done it, and most loan officers don't call their past clients. They've got that call reluctance because they don't have confidence of knowing what to say.
Yeah.
So now you know what to say to add value, so you have no reason to be afraid of picking up the phone and calling your past clients.
I think it's that easy, Wally, and your confidence level is high. They feel it, they sense it. It's a different model. It's entirely different.
For sure. For sure. So you've got a little bit of the inside scoop that no one else has really gotten, and obviously, like I've shared, you've got a soft place in my heart, and I really love watching you win.
Mm.
And when I changed the Academy from being every week to now every 2 weeks, and then you got the 6 lane highway course. What are your thoughts so far about the course? And have you enjoyed it? Was it not worth it for you, or what did you think of the course so far?
The course initially overwhelmed me, to be truthful with you. And then you said, hey, let's just focus on one lane at a time, make it financial advisors, make it insurance agents. And I've kept it really simple in that respect. And that's what I've done, although I have other wealth advisors that are in there, but I'm just focusing on those two. Here's the other takeaway that I've gotten from sitting through classes. I came into this expecting to learn how to, let's call it cross-selling to wealth advisors, financial advisors. Hadn't given much of an expectation to how this may enhance my realtor business. Maybe I just didn't expect anything, but You've taught us how to add value to realtors, our realtor relationships, in the same meaningful way. And I didn't expect that at all. And so my realtor conversations are centered around the 3.5 questions. We're adding value in that respect. I didn't expect that at all. And that has been a real weakness in my business. And it's got a different life to it now, a whole different life.
That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. So let's make sure we don't gloss over that. What Frank learned in the academy was a lesson I learned from a gentleman named Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer is the author of 7 Levels of Communication, and phenomenal book. If you've not read it, highly recommend you reading it. And Michael taught me the 3.5 most powerful questions, and this is how you structure a conversation, any kind of conversation. And I do it with my wife, I do it with my kids, I do it with my assistant, I do it with my team, I do it with my realtors, referral partners, I do it with everybody. And it's, what's your biggest challenge you have in your business today? What have you tried to do to solve that ABC biggest challenge you have in your business today? What are you going to try next, and by when? If you structure a conversation, not an interrogation, but structure a conversation that way, not only are you and whoever's in front of you, you're gonna bond, as they're really gonna see you as a partner. And then now you've got the clarity on what's their biggest challenge in their business today, that you as a loan officer can truly add value to them, and you know exactly where their biggest pain point is. And I think if you look at conversations like that just that simply, it makes it really easy to succeed.
See, the interesting thing about that is now we're back in the blue water.
Yeah.
I mean, you picture a loan officer having a conversation with a realtor is traditionally red water, but not with the 3.5 questions. Everything changed with those questions.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, the goal of this call, Frank, was for loan officers to see the behind the curtains Frank and be inspired. Every time I talk to you, I'm always excited every time that you're in class. I love your questions. You're usually sitting in a room by myself staring at a camera, and your camera is always on. I get to see you, and you always ask a lot of great questions. So I
show up because it's a feast, Wally. We've never had a class that I've shut it off and said, wished I had that hour back. Never had that. In fact, the classes that we have, to be truthful with you, I go back and rewatch them, and I take slower notes, and I write out the scripts. 15 minutes every morning. I review those. Thank you. Yeah, it's a different game.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for that. All right, so I'm going to give you the last words. So what is some words of inspiration you want to give out to the loan officer community out there?
Maybe let's reduce it to a word.
Okay, I love it.
And I would call it hope.
Okay.
And I would say that because of what I've learned from you, learn it, take the time to understand it, and then implement it and keep doing it. And business just gets better because the relationships get better. And how do you not have hope in that world? It's just different. So I'm full of gratitude for you, Wally. Really, lots of it.
You're very welcome. And I would say my one word back has to be purpose. What I enjoy so much about our relationship and the academy is you guys give me purpose, and you making a difference in your world gives me purpose. So I think we can definitely close the show with hope and purpose. That's 2 really great combinations there.
That they are. Wally, thank you very much. Thank you.
You bet, bud. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Have a great day, friend. Bye-bye.
So thank you so much for listening today. It means a lot you took time out of your day. I don't take that lightly. Understand very clearly that you're very busy. With that being said, if you want to continue your journey and learn more about 24/7 Mindset, if you're on Facebook, which I'm going to guess you are, then go to 24/7 Mindset on Facebook and join the private community. I do coaching tips on there on a daily basis, but from scripts on there to systems on there, models, and the ability to be able to grow and scale a business while you have a quality of life. Hope to see you there.